Welcome to thestockminer.com. I'm Brian Johnson. And it's been quite a wild trip, I must say, down here on our road to Dallas. We got stopped last night pretty late. I did not do anything, didn't need to do anything yesterday. It was a very, very slow day in the markets. They didn't go anywhere yesterday, didn't really go anywhere today, didn't really go anywhere Wednesday. So we're going to do a real quick end of the week wrap up for you. The trip so far has been pretty wild, actually. We are down in Dallas, finally here. But the snow and the ice has, of course, kept a lot of people away. We're seeing, we went to the Galleria, is a big mall down here. We've never been there, and we're told to go there, so we did. It's completely dead. There's nobody there. We were told tons of cancellations, people having troubles getting in. 600 flights were canceled on United Airlines or something to come in. So it's really not turning into the best thing. But some of it's self-inflicted. They didn't do anything to combat the snow and the ice. Here's a good example. We're on our way to the hotel tonight, and we're making pretty good time. We're only doing about 40, 45 or so on the interstate because you can't go any faster than that with the temperatures dropping in it, kind of black ice. And anyway, we get about a mile and a half from the hotel. Things start to slow down, and in the last mile, it took us 35 minutes to go about 1.2 miles because some guy had gotten, I don't even know how he did this, but anyway, he slipped on his car must have slid on the ice. And okay, facing the other direction, hitting the median, okay, I get that. Even upside down, whatever. This guy's on his side. I mean, the car's literally on its side. I'm not exactly sure how you do that, but he managed to get his car up on its side. Had traffic backed up for miles. It took us forever to finally get to I was 1 mile away from our turnoff. It took me like 35, 40 minutes. So anyway, that's just one example of what the weather's like down here. It's been really, really bad, and I don't think it's supposed to get all that much better. And everything's bigger in Texas except for the snowplows, which are non-existent. Apparently, they don't need them down here, so they don't have a lot of them. So anyway, and instead of putting salt down on the ice, they put sand down because they wanted to be environmentally safe. So there you have it. It's quite a mess for such a big area, and it's keeping a lot of people away. And so hopefully it'll pick up for them, though, because I know a lot of the local businesses are counting on getting these people into town, and they're just not coming. They're just not coming. So anyway, here we are. I'll do a quick weekend wrap-up for you here and let you know how things are going. Things did manage to make their way back upwards today ever so slightly. The NASDAQ was the strongest. The Dow and the S&P really not making that big of a move, just pushing on to the Dow daily. You can see we were watching this here as we kind of peaked. Remember these two candles right here? Just putting in a high base type formation, and now it's continuing its creep to the upside. Look, it's all the same. Yes, we can continue to go up, and it looks like we probably will, and that's all fine and good, but the way we're moving is in small increments, 5 points, 10 points. On the Dow, it's 30 points, 50 points, 70 points. Maybe, if you're lucky, you get 70 points out of the day. It's just not going anywhere. You can tell that they still want to push this higher. They just don't want to go at any great pace. So this day here was an excellent opportunity for the bears to take over. Chose not to do it, and since then you can see the run up. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm kind of glad that the market's gone nowhere because that means I haven't missed anything the last few days. So, from a selfish side, I'm kind of glad the markets haven't gone anywhere because I haven't missed anything. Still plenty of time for me to get back and get a lot of really, really good trading in because as these small candles happen, the bigger candles are soon to follow. It just the market will move very well, but not every day, only a few days at a time. So our key, or our jobs as investors, or as I should say, not investors, but maybe short-term traders, day traders and stuff, is to find those stocks that are moving and moving quickly in a day's pace. So this action that we see here on the markets is just setting us up for the next larger move, whether it's up or down. We did start to break these overhead levels. You guys are more than happy to jump in at the levels I gave you. There really wasn't much to do. Once again, my levels to be watching were maybe above 2330, 2335 probably, somewhere up in that area. 2 points, 3 points on the NASDAQ, yeah, I don't know, it's just not worth it. really, just not worth it. Need that thing to start to accelerate. Daily as well, here you can see the move up, the high base, and the move up today. So the white candle looks nice, but overall there aren't any good entries on this white candle. There just aren't anything to do right here, right now. But as you can see, we could call this a potential for that, inverse head and shoulders, maybe a cup and handle type of formation. And the handle's a little bit too long. I don't think I'd call it that. Really, what I would look at it as personally, it's just a consolidation. We're waiting for that breakout to the upside. And it looks like we may have got it today. I'm not all that excited about 2 points or a point or so above the highs from going way back on a lot of these indices, but it is what it is. The charts are still pushing their way upwards. Fridays have not been all that big for the markets. Today wasn't really a good example of that either. There really wasn't a lot of movement today on Friday, but Mondays and Tuesdays have been pretty good to the markets. We start to see things kind of move. As long as we don't have anything nasty happen over the weekends, it seems like the markets do tend to move Monday and Tuesday. We'll watch for that coming into early next week. And because of what we're seeing in the markets, no reason to think that we can't push this thing higher from a weekly perspective. Now, look at this. We had this little pullback here, and I told you guys at the beginning of the week this is where I was really struggling. I could not reconcile the fact that these weeklies just looked like bull pullbacks. And now look, here we are. Looks like we're getting confirmation of that bull pullback. So, a little bit higher, yeah, you betcha. Why not? Still looking for these things to push themselves a little bit higher now that we finished right at the top of this candle at the end of the week. After all the numbers came out, nobody really panicked at all. Everybody's fine with exactly where we're at and where we're going. SPX 60 minutes, same type of a thing, pushing up and over to new highs, but didn't do it until about that last hour or so of the day. Not interested in that. I'm not interested in going long on a Friday afternoon. I just don't know what's going to happen over the weekend. So in most cases, I'm just not holding. I've already put my positions in, and if I'm going to get long and stay long, I've been in for a little while, but this is not appealing to me. So I will wait till Monday to make my next decision on which direction to go. But as we followed through a 1, 2, 3, this whole thing here I think is 4, and now we're working on that next move up. It's anybody's guess where this thing will stop, though. From the daily, you can see SPX as well, getting into a high base, and today pushing out and above it. So we are back above this 1310 area, almost 1311, touched exactly, actually, 1311. We'll be watching the 1315 to 1320 marks coming into next week. From the weekly aspect, though, you can see the big white candle. This is what I talked about. Big push up and just a little teeny pullback. Just a bull pullback. This market refuses to give any leeway to the bears. As you can see, we can go back now and count and see this huge run up by the bears. VIX daily, same type of a thing. Remember what we talked about? Big pushes up and then bleed our way out. I was hoping, for the bear's sake, that maybe we could stick it up here and hold up here for a while. No such luck. VIX spiked for one day. We got the big push last Friday, and now look, we just absolutely bled out the rest of the week. What took us one day to get up took us 5 days to get back down to, but overall we're right back down to those lows. Nobody is panicking at all in the markets. Everything looks very good from the bull standpoint. Here we go again. Close above the 20 week, slash back down. Close above the 20 week, slash back down. Lather, rinse, repeat, guys. Nothing's changing here. We can see the patterns happening over and over and over again, and that is anytime and every time the market seems to maybe start to see a little bit of concern coming in, it is pulled straight back down again. The sentiment changes immediately. Up $3 today was Apple. Apple pushing above these levels of 345, 346, but really just not a whole lot of trading to be done there in Apple. You have to really sit around and watch Apple closely if you're going to get in on any of this. I loved it above 345. Of course, I wasn't at my computer, couldn't trade it today. But above 345 or 346, I absolutely would have went long. But look, it would have been in for, what, a buck? Maybe 50 cents, maybe, at the most. I mean, there just wasn't a lot to be done today on the Apple side of things. However, this still looks very strong. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. So look for Apple to maybe continue this march to the upside. And anything above about 349, 350 puts it into a whole new area to the upside. Here's that overhead blue line. We're almost there, not quite. That 348 level is probably a little bit closer, but you can see that we're right back to this overhead blue line. It has held nicely in the past, but any pushes and closes up above that 350 can just mean more bullishness within Apple itself. The FAS on a 60-minute was up a whopping 2 cents. You can see the consolidation here. Here's the big drop to the downside, the bounce, and then the consolidation. As long as it stays above $30.50, I still like FAS to the long side. And you can see from a daily here that we really didn't move. We had a couple of good days of trading, and that was about all she wrote. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, going nowhere. The banks, once again, in this consolidation phase. This is a perfect example of what we see in most markets, and that is, look at this big push down on Friday. Previous to that, not a whole lot going on. Here we have 2 days of really good acceleration to the upside in FAS. And then not a whole lot going on. So this market is once again consolidating. As long as it stays up here, it still remains bullish. FAZ means that we're consolidating. You saw the move up and the hold. Here's the bigger consolidation right here on the daily, and it's straight sideways, staying at or below that $8.20 mark. So $8.20 is proving to be a pretty staunch, I'd say $8.20 to $8.22. Pretty staunch support resistance type mark down here. Me personally, still looking for pushes back above these moving averages, and ultimately, you know, this $9.25-ish, $9.30 area, I really would like to see the market, or this FAZ, get above here before I start looking at anything to the long side. And a lot of you have been guessing on this. A lot of you are paying the price. A lot of you are in pain. If you're looking to get long FAZ, you're either waiting for a push above this line here, or you're waiting for it to touch that lower blue line. And even then, it's a very speculative trade, and one that might only be good for a day. Just so hard right now. The financials are very, very strong, and FAZ is bleeding. It's bleeding. It has been for a while. That'll do it for this week's video. I will be back with you again probably tomorrow or Sunday. I'll definitely have one out this weekend. More than likely, I'm going to obviously try to get this video done for you tomorrow, because Sunday there's something going on. I can't remember. Oh, yeah, that's right, it's the Super Bowl. So anyway, I'll be at the Super Bowl on Sunday, so more than likely you'll see a video from me tomorrow. All right, guys, take it easy, and we'll talk to you probably in the next day or so. Bye.